All right, so I had a comment/question about working in the government. This is in regards to working for the government versus working in the private sector as a cybersecurity person. There's a significant difference in the two. I've done both. When I was in the military, I actually did cybersecurity and working directly for the federal government. Then I was a contractor working with the federal government. And then I've also been in the private sector. So I've done all of these things. And so the comment is, he's talking about a video I did about working for the government versus working in the private sector. He says, it's not bad. I think government work is bad in the sense that you just become fearful about, what if I lose my job? And losing your job isn't that bad. You just gotta put out a few resumes and then go on a vacation, relax, unless you're up to your neck in debt. And also, the companies, they'll fire you. And he says, and if you don't want the politics, then you can just say F you and leave, is what he said. Yeah, I would agree with some of what he said as far as working for the government versus working in the private sector. I would say like the biggest difference for me is that if you work directly for the federal government, the job security is way better in the federal government versus private sector. Private sector is pretty volatile. I mean, you've got some big companies out there that'll try to take care of you. The pace, I'd say, is a lot faster in the private sector. You get your hands on more stuff. In the public sector and the federal government, it's more like you do this one job and then they might add some more stuff to you, but you really just do kind of one job and you have more job security. You don't care about like having a huge paycheck. Then probably the federal government's better for you, or any kind of government's better. It's more stable. It's harder for them to fire you. The private sector, more volatile. It's more, everything's like, it's faster, but you learn more stuff. It depends on where you're at in your life or which one you want to do. Overall, which one do I like personally? At different stages of my life, I think that when my kids were small, I think the federal government was better for me. But now that I'm older and wanted to expand my experience a little bit better, the private sector has been way better for me in this stage of my life. For me, this depended on which stage of my life I was in. Overall, I probably prefer the private sector more as either a contractor or just straight up not even working with the government at all. Personally, I prefer it. The government is a little bit too strict. You get in a one path and that's kind of all you do. Whether it's a GS position or if you're working as a troop, like if you're a soldier or something, it's just like you just do one thing and that's it. What I really like about the private sector, even contracting, you're able to put your hands on more things and kind of expand. That's just my own 2 cents on it. But yeah, whichever one you do is good. Both of them have great experience. The federal government has a really solid experience, and you're talking about not worrying about your job, just putting your head down and just working and grinding. Those are the two differences that I've noticed about the two.